Hi, myself Vasan. Welcome back to our channel eViday. As part of this video, we'll talk about the Cloud Skill Boost lab, which is Cloud Monitoring Quick Start. And as you could see, it's talking about installing an agent and to get the monitoring data about hosted uptime and all the other parts from the Google Cloud. So let's get started. So we are going to monitor a compute engine which will with cloud monitoring, and we are going to install monitoring and logging agents for your VM. So it is going to be the instance itself. So let's start our lab. I have logged into the lab account and also I activated the Cloud Shell. Also I did the traditional commands, the auth list, and also set the zone into US East 4C and also the region as US East 4, so that any command which we run, it's going to execute in that specific region. So our first task is to create a compute engine instance, which is going to be the VMware, and let's get created. So for which we would need to navigate into the compute engine machine, which is the compute engine VM instance, and let's create the instance. And all we would need to do is just copy paste the same name and US East 4 zone. Let's keep it as US East 4C. The series is going to be E2, and choose the machine type as E2 medium, and the boot disk, it's going to be the default one, which is 10 GB, and ensure that we have the Debian one. And in the firewall, we want to allow the HTTP traffic, and done. So we just need to go and get the creating part. And one thing we haven't done is we haven't installed the manager over here. So let's give it a try. So once it's installed, we'll just check our progress. So done. So next is to add Apache to HTTP server to the instance. So you want to click SSH over here. So let's wait for the instance to get complete creation. Cool. So our instance is created. So let's SSH into our instance, and then we want to install the Apache server over there. So the command is to update our NAOS package using this, and to install the Apache itself, we are going to use this specific command. And then the last one is to restart the Apache service. So we have restarted the service, and let's check our progress over here. So our Apache 2 been installed. So next step is to go back to our instance console and see whether the server is installed or not by hitting the public IP address, and we could see the server has been installed. So let's check our progress. Done. So next is we are going to create a monitoring metric scope. To do that, we want to go with the console back. Want to look for observability. Where's products? Okay, yeah, so we're going to go with view all products. Let's go for, yeah, so here we have the observability, and in the observability we want to look for monitoring. Yes, so we could see install the monitoring and logging agent. That's what we're going to do. Agents collects data and then stream for informing into the cloud console. So to do that, we want to use monitoring agent install command in the SSM of a VM instance. Let's do that. So this is the command. So we want to go to our VM instance and then do the installation of the agent. So it's going to be like two straightforward command to get the package installed within the server. Cool. So once the package is installed, we would need to do this pin sudo bash. Done. So next is to check for the status of our agents, and we could see that it is active. So this one is to update the instance part. I think we already done that, but not sure like why we are again doing it. Let's do that. So next time is to create an uptime check to see whether the instance is up or not. So let's try that. So let's go for the cloud console, and so we want to look for uptime. Okay, so uptime checks is here, and we are going to create the uptime check. Let me expand this a bit. So where to create the uptime check? So here we are. Okay, this one is, okay, here we have this create uptime check, and we're going to keep the protocol HTTP. Resource type is going to be instance, and the instance name is going to be our instance name, and the path we keep it same, and let's go for continue. And how are we going to validate this? Based on the response validation. Okay, so we're just going to see whether are we getting the 2xx status code, and then let's give continue. And in alert and notifications, we see that the default name, let's just continue, and let's keep it as lab uptime for the checks, and let's test it out to see whether the connection is established or not. So we could see the 200 response from 431 milliseconds. So ideally it would be like trying to hit our web server and see are we getting the 200 response code, and then that's what we are getting it over here. So let's create it. So now we have the alert being triggered, or like alerting mechanism being created. So now we want to create when to get notified to us. So we could see in the left menu we want to create alerting, and click on select a metric. So where it is in the alerting, okay, in the alerting we want to create policy, and so we want to create selector 1 and uncheck the active. Okay, type network traffic. So in network traffic, so we have VM instance, In that we have interface and want to choose network traffic, right, and apply. So keeping everything default, so we just go with next. So next is to keep the threshold, so threshold position to above threshold, and yes, and threshold value to be 500. Okay, and then what else we keep in the advanced options? Where is the advanced options? Yeah, here we have the advanced options, retest to 1. Okay, so click down the 1 for notification channels. Click on drop down arrow next to the notification channels. Where do we have the notification channels? It will be in the next. Yes, in the notification channels there are no notification channels, so I want to go with manage notification channels. Provide add new. Okay, this is via mobile device. We also have email, so add new. Let's keep the email address and save this. Done. So next is to create the alerting policy tab. So we have added the email. So if we go back and notification channels, email, right, so display name, okay, so you can keep alert on server uptime maybe, and then so alert on server uptime, name the alert policy. They asked to go with like inbound traffic alert, and click next. So we could see that it's keep on testing it and the metrics is visible, and we would get the alert if the server is not giving us back 200 or 2xx. And so in this case we are saying that if it is we are getting the same response for like 500 threshold value, then we are going to get notified or like alerted over email part. So let's create policy. Done. So now we have created the alerting policy to get notified. So the next one is to create a dashboard and chart. Okay, let's do that. In the left menu, dashboards, create dashboard. So the dashboard will be like used to visualize the overall trend or overall metrics, how it will be there. So we are in the new dashboard, and how do I name it? Name the dashboard. Okay, so here it is. You can just edit this and new dashboard, and click on add widget, select the line, okay, and okay, the widget title as CPU load. Let's do that. It's just naming the widget. So widget should be like each widget would be for a specific metric, and we can choose select a metric. I believe we'll be selecting the one which we created, which is going to be this one, which is CPU load 1 minute. So this is going to be a VM instance, CPU, and yes, CPU load 1 minute, and apply that. Okay, so leaving everything same, and so we have our own widget created. So next would be to create the another instance. So let's apply this. Okay, so we can create one more widget which is for the received packets. So again, let's go with add line widget, and let's keep it the title as received packets. In the metric, remove the active part and go with VM instance. I think I'm just checking with the somehow they're filtering based on this. Once you search it here, it's coming in here. So VM instance, received packets, apply. Right, so we could see the metrics here. So this is mainly acts as a dashboard, which is like native of Google Cloud. So we could see the dashboard of CPU load and received packets, and all those metrics is being pushed to the cloud using our agent which we installed. So we could see query the log using Log Explorer, and we could check based on resources, VM instance, apply. Okay, so this is going to be for querying the log instance. Do that. Click on resources. Where to check for resources? So you have the Log Explorer. Select the logs you want to see. In this case, I think I can go with VM instance, and here we can see like LAMP v1, and okay, so based on this we can do the filtering part, and this one is for alerting itself. So okay, this is going to be okay. So here we have the resource type as a GC instance. So basically, like, we can query it here and then see the visualization in the search box. That's what this is going to do. It's more about like Log Explorer, right? So what are the metrics we send it, and then we can use this specific dashboard to query it. And we could see we want to, let's say, I want to use for V1, then it gives the specific details. So it's more about like whatever logs we are passing it, it's going to have the metrics over here, and we can use a Log Explorer to go and query this. So this would be exactly the similar one which have like the CloudWatch log groups in the AWS console part. Okay, so that's it. That's about like the end-to-end lab itself in terms of, so we created a VM instance, we launched our custom agent which was sending the metrics to it, and then we also set the health check to check are we getting the success response code, and then we set the alarm for the threshold of 500 if the threshold or if the response is not 200, and we also seen here like how to explore the Log Explorer of this. So that's more about the lab itself. Yeah. So also we have set the alerting policy also, like once the threshold is met, like where it should get notified. right? So yeah, that's more about this specific lab itself. Thanks for joining the session. So we'll see you in the next session. Until, if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe. Consider sharing our channel with your friends. Thanks for sticking till the end. See you in the next video. Thanks.